Ballerina in the John Wick world is actually very good because I have a hot take. I'm actually not that big of a fan of the regular John Wick movies. So I was a little skeptical when this movie came out because I'm not saying that those movies are bad or anything like that. I'm just saying I'm not super big into them. So I still went to watch this one with a little bit of skepticism, and I gotta say, I am very pleasantly surprised. Ana de Armas does an amazing job. She is very, very talented. One of the things that I like about the way this movie was written is that she is very small, and they acknowledge that from the very beginning of the movie. So they don't try to pretend that she is this invincible person that no one can beat up or defeat. She is actually encouraged to use her strengths because she has an apparent weakness. So that from the start was very encouraging. Also, they give us some background story on her, which I thought was fantastic. There's also a couple cameos that Mr. John Wick does, and all of this just contributed to the charm of the movie overall. One of the biggest highlights for me was the effects. The visual effects are so on point. They are amazing. I'm not going to give you any spoilers, but something I can tell you is that they use obviously tons of pew-pews, but this time they actually use flamethrowers. That is something to look forward to. The effects were just so great. And if you watch it on IMAX or Dolby, one of those big theaters with all the big fancy speakers and everything, you're definitely not gonna regret it. This movie takes place between chapter 3 and 4 of the John Wick saga, and they even allude to that timeline during this movie. There's only a couple of things that stood out to me that were a little poorly executed, like some CGI effects, but nothing major. Overall, this movie, I would rate it an easy 8, maybe a 9 out of a 10, which is very hard for this genre as it is very tired. But they did include a lot of things that felt fresh and very entertaining.